Welcome to our Wednesday chat. We still have not come up with a name. We're still open to suggestions. I kind of like the midweek hump, whether or not we want to go through that or something like that. But we're very excited to be back again after a little hiatus for Token 2049. We had some people traveling. But I'm welcome back by the regular co-host Pac-Man. How you going, brother?
Yeah, good. Happy to be here. Apologies for not to missing out a couple of weeks. It has been very busy. First in Paris and now in Dubai. So, but yeah, good to be back.
We've got some pretty special guests here, so we're going to actually let the guests actually introduce themselves. We've got Mohit from Limaverse and also Ajish from Pokedex. Maybe Mohit, do you want to introduce yourself first, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what Limaverse is in just a concise summary, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into the project as we go.
Awesome. So firstly, thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited to be part of this as well as future events. And it's very coincidental that me and Pac-Man are just a couple of buildings away in Dubai. We just realized, so it's such a small world. And yes, my name's Mohit. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Limaverse. And as a person, I've always been driven by health. I've been playing football since I was a very, very small kid. So health, sports, it plays a huge role, both in terms of my physical and mental health. And the fact that I can combine my health, my passion for health, my passion for sports, and obviously our collective passion for blockchain, I think that's a good place to be. Now, I live in Dubai, and Limaverse, one of our offices are based here. For someone who stays in Dubai, I can tell you Token 49 has created a lot of nightmares because getting a cab here was next to impossible, but having everyone from around the world talking about their projects, all the buzzwords being thrown about. I think AI is in the air. There was a time where love was in the air, but now AI is in the air. So really happy to be discussing these elements and talking about Limaverse. Our idea, our vision was to build a very comprehensive ecosystem. Behind the scenes, we also do one of the biggest biohacking convention. For people who don't know what biohacking means, it's basically knowing and hacking your biology and relying on alternative medicine rather than relying on traditional healthcare. I think this bull run, everyone from the likes of CZ, Brian Johnson, a lot of people are talking about DeSci, which is decentralized science, and that's where we fit in. When DeFi came in around 7 to 8 years ago, it was fight against traditional finance, the inconsistencies, the things which were preventing us from achieving true financial atrocities or true financial freedom. I think DeSci follows similar lines where people are realizing that traditional healthcare is broken. People are forcing pills upon us purely because of profits. And I think knowing your own biology and creating mechanisms and platforms is something which can take us as a human a long way to go. And that's what we're building. We're the first comprehensive health and wellness ecosystem on chain. And one of our core motto is your health is our responsibility. So any products, any ecosystems that we launch, we have an incentive nature to it, obviously. But from the last bull run, it's not just subjected to number of steps, jog or run. We've also built an health concierge, our own AI agent, which has the capability of reading genetic reports, reading blood reports, all sort of health and medical data, and giving you advice and suggestions, which is very, very hyper personalized to your own biology. And we recently launched that, and that saw our token surge significantly post our launch. So the plan is to get more and more users on that. And the next up, what we're launching is our super app, which will have a lot of cool features. Like we've come up with something called as a bloodless blood test. Through a facial scan, we're able to get a lot of parameters that you would usually find in a comprehensive blood test. So using that data metrics, how we're storing and helping people realize the true potential of their own cells is something which is on the cards. And one of our prominent launches that is also coming is we're dipping our fingers into the financial world as well. We're launching our own Visa powered card, which will launch use your tokens or use any cryptocurrency globally across the world. But on ground, we've been working really hard in terms of partnering with a lot of wellness institutions, a lot of labs, a lot of spas and wellness facilities where you can actually use these and get exclusive perks if you're part of the community and if you hold these cards. So a bunch of things are happening. As you can see, it's we've realized the highest yield asset in today's world is your health, and that's where we're investing. So to people listening to the projects that we have alongside, if you think health plays a key role in your organization or in your roadmap, our partnership deck and our partnership teams are wide open for you. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Very exciting. I want to dive more. I've got a bunch of questions for you. We're going to introduce Ajis first. Take it away.
Hey, thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Ajish. I'm the CEO of Polkadex. I've been involved in building and growing tech companies for quite a while now. Yeah. Uh, at Polkadex, excuse me. Yeah. We are developing a high performance DEX with an order book to provide familiar trading experience in the decentralized world. Um, we're tackling some of the core challenges holding back wider adoption of decentralized exchanges. Things like slow speeds, limited trading tools, clunky user experiences, etc. So yeah, those are the things what we are trying to tackle. Uh, no, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We are building an exchange that combines the best of both the sexes and dexes. That was very quick.
Very interesting. I've known about Pokedex for quite some time, and so we'll come back as well and talk about like some of the history and the backstory of the project as well, because I know you've got a very interesting history, and so it's really cool to see you guys active again. Pac-Man, you're involved with Kylix. Give everyone who hasn't heard of Kylix before the rundown and explain what it is.
Sure. I'm the co-founder of Kylix Finance. We're basically a layer one blockchain, a DeFi protocol built on Substrate. So it's a multi-chain, cross-chain borrowing and lending protocol. We don't have any bridges, no wrapped assets. Basically, native asset lending and borrowing, where users can lend, for example, Bitcoin and borrow Ethereum or Solana or Sui. Basically, everything happens on our own chain using hub and spoke model. And thanks to Polkadot Substrate technology, we can basically plug into any chain. So we're potentially going live on 16 different chains. Obviously, we'll start with 3 or 4 main ones like Solana, Sui, Ethereum. But the plan is to be on every chain possible. Think of it as Aave, but cross-chain and without any bridges and without any wrapped assets. So that's the very short version of it. But in a little bit more detail, so we allow our users to not just another DeFi borrowing and lending, but we also allow them to behave as to collateralize the assets. So, for example, if you have an asset that you borrowed against and it's about to be liquidated, so the users can actually bid on the liquidated asset that's about to be liquidated. So they can actually liquidate. They can act as liquidators. So we have our own liquidity marketplace where, let's say, if assets is about to be liquidated, will basically just how you do, for example, on an exchange, you can bid on something like an order book, where you, let's say, if assets about to be liquidated at 10, you might have the opportunity to buy like $8, $9 or whatever, and then you can just go and sell the market and have like instant yield. And then we have features such as like self-repaying loans, where user actually uses uh, borrows something with a negative interest rate, and in the background we put your assets to like liquid staking. So basically anything that supports proof of staking, we can put it onto liquid staking, then generates the yield and pays off your loan. So over time you might even have only 30% of your loan left, or if you leave it long enough, you might have your whole loan paid off. So there's a lot of other features as well, but these are like one of our unique selling propositions. Then we're working on a partnership with a wallet, where you can lend and borrow within your own wallet, so you don't have to use a mobile app or our desktop version like a web app. You can just go into any wallet and basically borrow and lend within that wallet, so your assets never actually leave that wallet. And then we are partners with Mandala Chain, as you know. So like we will be offering DeFi services to like Indonesia, based on like, for example, for retail, for institutions, and we have some other exciting partnerships that we're about to announce very soon. Dexes are one of them, maybe potentially Polka Dex as well. Hydration we're looking into. So yeah, our testnet's going live in June, and with all being well and everything as planned, we'll probably be going live in July or August. It's hard to give an exact kind of timeline given the market conditions as well. And, we're doing a seed round at the moment. So it just there's a lot of factors it depends on. It's not just the case of pressing a button and going live. And yeah, that's basically the brief introduction. Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. Last project, I guess I'll touch on. I'm from Republic Labs, so we're a blockchain research and media company. We also obviously are working with Kylix, and we will have our mobile wallet app live shortly, which you'll be able to access Kylix features from directly. So watch the space and follow along at Republic Labs to be able to hear about these announcements. But I'm also on the Mandala Chain team. And so for those that don't know, mandalachain.io, also an L1 built with Substrate, and EVM compatible, which allows both government, retail, and enterprise applications to all coexist into the same environment. And so we've already got multiple governments who have built applications on chain for the first time. And Mandala also is imminently about to go live with its TGE. So no live trading token yet, but it's coming very, very soon. And this is like a huge thing where it's applications which people have already been using and services that have already been using from governments are now on chain. And so this ranges from digital identity to banking services to internet data storage to data protection, even like supply chain logistics. And we've even got like a health function as well, which I think we're really interested to connect with Limaverse on, where we can verify events based out of hospitals so that we can use it for insurance purposes. And so people can have like a verified insurance claim all on chain. And so very interesting, like what's going on, and there's a lot happening. And so there'll be heaps more that we'll talk about shortly. So with both with Mandala and with Kylix, obviously not having a trading token yet. Now Limaverse does, and I believe that Pokedex does as well. So Mohit, do you want to tell us a little bit about like what chain you're on, what tech you're using? When did you launch your token? Where can you get your token? Like, what's the status at the moment with the project there?
So we're built on BSC and launched in 2021. Currently, we're on a lot of major exchanges. We're on Probit, we're on Bitmart, we're on LBank, we're on Mexi also will happen soon, P2B, a lot of tier 2 exchanges. And in this year, we'll be hitting a tier 1 exchange as well. We're obviously on PancakeSwap as a DEX. So very accessible as a token. You can see all the markets on CoinMarketCap. But I think utility projects, especially since this is the theme of today's event, I was reading one of the articles that 99% or 99.1% of the tokens didn't survive from the last bull run to this one. And the utility tokens played a huge role in terms of the ones which survived, which were constantly building throughout the entire bear period. And I think we went through that struggle as well. And to build projects, to build ecosystems, especially to build technology that we're building, it took us a lot of time. But now I think we were planning to time it right with the coronation of Mr. Trump, because there was a clear indication that he will bring a lot of liquidity. So we had that was our deadline internally, that we can have everything in place, which we have done. So the next couple of months are very, very exciting for us, both for us as the Limaverse management team, as well as for our token holders, because there are a bunch of launches. Every quarter we have a launch coming up. A lot of marketing is already prepared. We also do a lot of physical events, which is on-ground events across the regions that we're present in, where currently most of our community is between India, UAE, and some of our communities from the US and the UK. But next, we're expanding into Southeast Asia, because it's a huge crowd, and it's seen recently. And then we're going to be knocking the doors of North America, because for the stat lovers, I think US spends the maximum when it comes to healthcare, and also happens to be the sickest country in the world. So it makes all the more sense for us to enter those markets. But entering US market comes at a very, very high cost. So we want to ensure that all our technology is live. Our numero uno technology with our super app, which combines everything, which will have card integration, which will have the AI integration, which will have all the proprietary technologies that we have built, and all the metrics, because we work on the 3M model, which is measure, monitor, manage. Whatever you can't measure, you can't monitor, and eventually you cannot manage. So all the data points which are coming in through multiple variables, through all the partnerships that we do, that sort of data will be eventually locked to each and every user. And then I think not anytime soon, but once we have over 10,000 users, is then we're going to be collating that data, storing it on chain, and building data pools and data marketplaces for people to actually monetize from the data, as well as for institutions to come in and access that ethically available data. Because right now all the data which big pharma or a bigger institution they have, I don't think it's been ethically sourced, and us as users, we don't even know where our data is going. And the worst part is we don't make a penny out of it. So we want to democratize that aspect as well. So with these platforms that we launch, the first step is to acquire as many users as we possibly can, then introduce data storage and management protocols so that they can eventually monetize their data.
So with the actual token, what's the main utility base? What's the main utility of the token?
So currently the token acts as a rewards token. That is because once people join in the super app or any of our ecosystem, it's gated by a smaller subscription fee, and they can earn almost up to 2x of what they've paid as subscription in the form of native tokens. This is a huge incentive for them. Now that token, once with our new products, it gives them access to uh, different tiers. Now these tiers are based on access to a lot of wellness centers, access to a lot of partnerships that we do. So that token acts as a gated platform. And then with our health cards, we call it actually wealth cards, which is wealth and health combined. So based on the total number of tokens that you're holding, you can have a certain tier where you can earn cashback, your transaction fee. All those things are dynamically sort of getting managed based on the total token holdings that you have. So overall, this is how it comes. And uh, then once we launch our product marketplace as well, so there will be a health marketplace where we'll only be listing health products, which ranges from supplements to, because I think now it's $1 trillion market, purely just wellness and wellness products. So people can also get a lot of perks from the marketplace using that token itself. So it's a multifaceted token utility. But even with the partnerships that we do, we try to do a deeper partnership rather than just like a co-marketing partnership, where both tokens, if we're talking to different companies, can somehow be involved in a way that at least some percentage of utility is being added to both the projects. So this is how
So
we
it's like
approach.
it's an ecosystem token that helps to like give people access to services within your ecosystem.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. I'm going to pass to Ajish. You've found a beautiful spot in front of the window there. So I know Pokedex has been around for some time as well, and also does have a trading token. Do you want to give us the short history of the project and the token, and maybe where it's at as a project right now, its status update?
Of course. Yeah, I came on board as a CEO in October 2024. That's like very recent. However, I have the whole entire history because I was an investor from day one in Polkadex. I was probably the very first person to buy PDEX tokens when it was launched. Um yeah, so 2021 was the year when we launched the Polkadex as a project, and we did the ICO. And yeah, should I go into the tokenomics part of it? I guess no, right?
No, you can just keep it brief. It's okay. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an inflationary token, but we are limited to 22 million in circulation at any given time. So any excess token is burned by the treasury. And by the way, we are a true 100% decentralized governance as of now. Uh, yeah, the token is currently available in Gate and Ascendex. We were listed on KuCoin, but not any longer. But The highlight of the whole thing is that we are launching our order book next month, and it should be available worldwide from our own platform for people to purchase. Yeah, the token definitely is a utility token, as you know. The entire tokenomics is built around the utility, and so that the store of value and the demand for the token remains high or keeps growing as we grow the number of users on the platform.
So this is pretty exciting. So you're, I guess, rebooting the product. You're going to have effectively, we have perpetuals or is trading as well?
I didn't get that. Sorry.
We have like perpetual contracts. Is that what it's trading, or is it just like order book?
Definitely in the roadmap, probably coming next year.
Okay, great. Okay, super interesting. Yeah, sorry, go Pac-Man.
No, I was just saying, I'm a big fan of DeFi, so I quite like the order book style decks where you have, people always talking about making your experience decentralized, but when you actually go to decentralized, even like Uniswap, for example, you don't know, sometimes slippage is like ridiculous and, you don't really know. By having like an order book style decks, which basically mimics exactly what you do on a centralized exchange. So I think that's as close to decentralization as possible that you can get and, have the same experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing the product, what it's going to be. And yeah, it's just quite cool. Quite like it.
So we've got a couple of projects that are about to launch, a couple of like projects that have been around for a little bit of time. So we've got some cool variations in experience in the blockchain ecosystem and market. I believe most of you are in Dubai right now. Is that correct?
I'm in Dubai.
I live
there. Yeah. Okay, everyone besides me. Thanks for the invite, boys.
You're the only one, odd one out.
All right. Well, I know Dubai's just had the big week of Token 2049. What's the vibes? What's everyone feeling? What's the sort of the pulse on the ground of the market right now?
I'll go. I think the main event was. I don't know if everybody else feels the same sentiments, but main event was very disappointing. I didn't like it at all. Side events were really good. A lot of fun, a lot of networking, a lot of right people. Main event this year was one, it was very hot, so it was like 40-45 degrees outside, and half of the venue was indoor and half of it was outdoors, and obviously nobody wanted to stay outdoors, so everybody was indoor, and it was just crowded. Like you couldn't walk a meter without like bumping into 10 other people, and the quality of the attendees as well, it was just like mostly, not that I have anything against like market makers or something, but it was just like overcrowded, like very saturated, like people selling market makers, exchange listings, and dexes, and marketing services, auditors, like all of these, like every second or third person I spoke to was just basically there to sell their services. Back in the day, the events used to be, oh, I'm going to learn something new today. I'm going to find a very innovative project, or I'm going to come across something that's really cool. I didn't get those vibes at all, which was like, for me, I like very disappointing. I didn't even bother going on the second day, so I only went for the first day. And I'm sure Ajis, and the traffic was crazy. Yeah, just overall, I didn't enjoy as much as I thought I would. That's my personal thing. Mohit, what do you think?
So I think from an event point of view, not just Token 49, I think Dubai has been a center of most crypto events. Every month there is a bunch of events. I think just like community, if it's built for smaller, well-refined audience, the quality of the event tends to be higher. But from a regulatory point of view, I think Dubai is very, very regulated. There is VARA, which is virtual assets regulatory, and which has divided digital assets into 7 or 8 kinds of assets. So NFT, utility tokens, every token is regulated. Based on that, registering a company here becomes easy, and there are multiple free zones. So a lot of those people, every company that I know, at least who's working in the blockchain, they have one or the other subsidiary or a person based out of Dubai or handling some of the treasuries there. So a lot of people actually flock in terms of getting your companies registered, market makers. So basically a lot of vendors. And in any event where it's predominantly vendors, you will see a certain dip in the quality. But I think somewhere where Dubai never disappoints is its party culture, its infrastructure. So from that point of view, people love setting up events here, sorry. And the quality of food, the quality of hospitality, it's up there with the likes of Miami and LA. So creating a facade of your company that I was there at an event, because you're representing your company through the lens of an event to the entire world. If I am a holder of any token and I see my company doing a lot of these activations, I would just think that yes, it's headed in the right direction, and it gives me conviction as an investor that there's no point selling the token now. I'm going to be holding it. So creating that facade, these events become really, really good for those companies. But I think, as Pacman rightly pointed it out, if you're primarily going there for education and learning more about blockchain and learning more about technologies, you can spend 2 3 hours on YouTube, listen to wiser people, and gain a lot more. That's what I felt. But networking cannot be defied. It's the best out there. You meet the right set of people. You meet people who are billionaires or who are connected to family of. It's okay if they don't like your project. If they like you, they might just invest with you. So a lot of this money, we call it FU money, which is lying around Dubai, Saudi, and that's also one of the reasons as to why people come here. And this is my like 2 cents about the overall events ecosystem. But token 49 overall side events. Now, for the first time, there were sporting networking events, there were paddle meetups, there were football meetups, where you would actually meet similar like-minded people who are in the blockchain space. So that aspect, I think there were about every day for a week there were 25 to 30 side events as per the sheet, and they were doing more. So that part was very, very exciting. And yeah, I think the rest, Pacman said it very, very well. And yeah, over to you, Ajish. What do you think?
Just to
Yeah,
quickly jump on that one, you talked about the sporting events. One of my favorite events, and I was looking forward to when coming to Dubai, was a go-karting competition between the founders and the VCs, which was great. It was amazing. And I got beaten. I came third, and I got beaten by Sweet Team, which was, but it was really cool. So stuff like that was good. There was also like a founders running club. So like if you're into like athletic and stuff, and then you can go for a run together and sports together. So like I like how people have now become a little bit more creative, and you're thinking outside the box, and it's no longer just like having a bar and have a few drinks and then that's it. People are trying to do like more to make it more effective. Atish, what was your experience like?
Yeah, I totally missed out on the side events, man. By the time Pacman told me about these side events, it was too late. I had booked my flights and all that. So I just landed a day before the actual event. I managed to like sneak into one of the events because Pacman was there, and then some of our pro- project mates, you could call them, or investors were around. So we met up. The other thing about Dubai that I observed is that, and I'm settled in the US, and when you go out or talk to people, pretty much there's no discussion about crypto unless you're in that particular group, right? But here, when um, we are also seeking some kind of investment, so I happen to meet with a bunch of HNIs and traders, etc. And I didn't have to explain crypto per se, you know, in terms of finance. I'm not talking about any other tech on blockchain, but at least in terms of finance, everyone knows USDT. And pretty much Dubai being that probably aspiring to be that financial capital of the world, definitely uh, it's possible on that side. And it's nice to learn from Mohit about those licenses, because probably we'll have to get those licenses as well for Flex. But otherwise, I feel that my visit was very fruitful. Uh, I got to meet in person with our colleagues or project mates, as you say, and then I got a lot of meetings. Like Pac-Man probably beats me to it, but I have packed meetings day in and day out. I have a few more days here, and it's good. I mean, it's a very vibrant city, if you
It's
say.
very hot. It's just like burning hot. You feel like you're getting cooked when you're on the street.
Yeah, you get cooked for sure.
Well, it's super interesting. I have to make sure that next time around I'm there. But it's good to know that there's like a bit of action happening. I think that's really cool to know that everyone's got some traction on the ground and that they can have chats with investors and potential users. Ultimately, that's what most projects are trying to do. They're trying to connect with people. So we're coming up on our half an hour. We like to keep these short just so we can get to know the projects. Maybe Mohit, and do you want to give us a quick synopsis about where people can follow Limaverse, and then Ajish, you can go follow with Pokedex.
Yes, absolutely. So, as in my initial talk or initial description, I said that we are willing to explore partnerships with projects which are aligned with our vision. You can follow us on Twitter, on our Telegram community. This is where most of the action happens, and we have a lot of things coming in store. So, if health is something that you prioritize, which I think you should, there is a very, very strong reason for you to follow us and be a part of our journey. And that is the only thing that I'd like to say.
Nice. Do you want to just quickly either give your website or a link to your Twitter?
So limoverse.io, and the Twitter handle is limoverse global. These are the two things that you should keep in mind. But if you just search for Limoverse, I think from a name point of view, also there is a secret behind the name. People get confused. Are you a limousine company? No. So limo stands for lifestyle modification, and verse, as we know, it's like a world. So a lifestyle modification world is what we're trying to create. So no. Eventually, if you follow us, maybe you can buy a Limoverse. But for now, buy a limousine. But for now, Limoverse stands for Lifestyle Modification Verse, and you can just Google it and you'll be headed towards the right links. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ajish?
For the Twitter handle of Polkadex is Polkadex itself. The website is polkadex.ee. Our HQ is based out of Estonia, so that's our URL. And all those who have been traders or who are facing issues with Dexes with respect to user experience, and with centralized exchanges with respect to custody and the risk of losing your investments. Polkadex is coming next month. We'll be making an announcement, and please come and do try our platform as soon as it's ready.
Nice. For Kylix, so our website is kylix.finance. I would highly recommend going onto our website to get the official link, because there's a lot of scammers out there. They will, kind of pretend and impersonate your account. So always best to go on the official website, and there will find the links for Discord and our Telegram community. And we're going live in testnet, so we'll open our waiting list. So anybody that wants to try our testnet, and there will be some incentives as well for the users. They want to come on board and find any bugs and something. So if you're interested, definitely go into our website and join our waiting list. So it's kylix.finance. And on to you, Michael.
Yeah, so same thing, mandalachain.io and Mandala Chain on X. And also, if you're looking for some deep dive research and lots of different projects from across the ecosystem, you can go to republiclabs.io or follow Republic Labs on X. And there's like multiple articles and posts that come out every day to keep you in the loop with everything that's happening. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining today. Good to have you. Maybe we'll do this again in a few weeks or a few months or something like that, have you back on and see what sort of progress has been made with the projects.